Okay. Hi, Susan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Douglas?
Doing fine. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. Nice to have you with us.
It's my pleasure to be here. Yeah.
So, we're going to be talking a little bit about medium and psychic phenomenon, you want to call it that, or psychic experience?
Yeah, all of that, psychic, spiritual, whatever you want to say. I'm very familiar with all of it.
Okay. Are you a medium?
Yes.
All right. I have had a couple on the show previously. I had John Edward on the show a couple of years ago, who you probably know, right?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay, and then somebody named Michael Bodine. I don't know if you know
I've heard of
him.
him. Yeah.
Okay, so it's always an interesting topic. I'm always a little bit fascinated by it. What exactly do you do? I know you've written books, and we're going to talk about one of your books. Do you do this as a profession?
I don't like to look at it as a profession. It's more of a service for people. Um, and it gives them comfort and upliftment and can answer some of the questions they've been trying to grapple with in their own minds or in their lives. So the mediumship can help with that.
Do you talk to the people that have passed on
Oh,
with your clients?
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. I would say to you, I believe your father's in spirit.
For me,
Yeah,
yeah, he's been gone a long time.
yeah, yeah. I just sensed that.
Oh, okay. Um, so what is the process? Somebody would come to you. Do you just sit down on a one-on-one with them?
Well, for readings, yes. We sit down on a one-to-one basis, or we can do it through the internet, through Zoom, through Skype, or over the telephone. And it usually helps to really hear the person's voice so that you can get a strong connection with their spirit loved ones. And if you can get confirmations from them during the reading, then what I call the link will get stronger. The connection to the spirit world will get stronger.
Are the people in the spirit world always around their loved ones?
No, they're not. People in the spirit world also have things that they do in the spirit world. So they're not available like calling somebody on the phone and just expecting them to be there. You can't do it that way. Sometimes when people want to hear from someone, the person isn't available.
I find that comment interesting because oftentimes my father will come to me in my dreams. And when he's in the dreams, he isn't always available. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but like I know he's there and I can see him and I'm trying to reach out for him, but he's not hearing me or he's behind a wall or a window. And it's like, Dad, Dad. And I'm like running towards him and he walks away and then he just disappears. I've had that dream several times.
Yeah, and maybe he's having trouble communicating because when people on the other side have to learn how to do it, just like we have to learn how to do it on the earth plane.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, they need to learn how to do it. And sometimes what happens is that a friend will bring somebody through, um, and that's why mediums come through fairly quickly, usually, right after they pass. And but not everybody does because they have to learn how to do it. But also, they have their same personality. So if it's a person that's kind of quiet or reserved or something, then they're not going to be as talkative.
How did you know that you had this ability? I assume you probably knew something was different or unique with you as a child, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As a child, I just knew things, and there was absolutely no logical reason how or why I could knew them. And later, I found out yes, what I knew was true. So, but I didn't. They squashed it, so I didn't do anything with it for a long, long time.
Did your parents have this ability?
No, but my grandmother was very involved with mediums.
Okay, that's interesting.
Some, Sometimes it skips a generation.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I've heard that story
Yeah.
before where They said, no, but my grandmother. I think it might
Yeah.
have been Michael Bodine who said that.
So it like skipped a generation. But then my my father was an only child, so
Oh, okay.
you can kind of understand why he might not have picked it up.
So when you were exhibiting these thoughts, phenomenons, whatever you want to call them as a child, how did your parents react? Did they just brush it off, or were they deeply interested in what you were
No, they weren't
experiencing?
interested at all. No. Mm-mm. They sent me to a psychiatrist.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of something that you said that they thought you were in need of a psychiatrist?
Well, what happened was there was, and it's funny, there was a woman in my classes, and she actually was related to the Cotton Mather family. And she was saying all kinds of nasty and negative things about me. And I went home and told my mother that she was doing this. And my mother was like, well, how do you know? And I was like, well, I just know. And so she couldn't accept that. So she sent me off to the psychiatrist.
The woman was saying nasty things about you, but not to you.
Not to me, but about me, behind my back.
Where was the woman when she was saying these things?
She was a schoolmate. A schoolmate of mine was doing this. And I did find out later it was true that she did do this. Somebody told me that she'd been doing this.
Oh, okay, but you weren't in a room or in earshot of her.
No. I had, no, I mean, I didn't hear it at all. I just knew it.
You heard it in your head, not. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I knew it in my head. So sometimes with the spirit world, you just know things. They just tell you things. And it just comes out of the blue, but it's true.
When did you first realize, or what was the first thing you did that was proven to you? Was it this? In other words, you found out later that yes, she had said, to sort of confirm what you were thinking or what you felt?
It was a gradual process because at first I knew I was psychic. Okay. I knew I was psychic, and I also knew I could do spirit healing because my hands would get very, very warm. They would heat up, especially if it was going to try to help someone that had a pain or an ache or something. So I knew I could heal, and I knew I had psychic abilities. And it wasn't until later in life when I moved up to Rochester, New York, the birthplace of spiritualism, that I really came in touch with a whole bunch of mediums. So then I tried to then refine my skills and focused on the mediumship part.
It looks like on your bio you've got a Ph.D., M.F.A, Master of Fine Arts. Did you do something? Were you a teacher, or what did you do with your life, or was it strictly this?
Oh, no. This, as I said, to me, it's more of a calling because I've had other careers. Um, I did get an art degree and was a professional graphic designer for a number of years in New York City. And then I went back and got my PhD and was a professor at Fordham and the Rochester Institute of Technology.
We've got just a few minutes left. I want to pivot over to your book. It says that you have written 11 books. The one we got the picture of, the book cover photo, is called Physical Mediumship Unfolded.
Yes, and this is what I'm doing now is I'm focusing more on physical mediumship, which is when different phenomena in the room or in the world, they move, or you get voices, or you get apports, or you get some evidence, physical evidence of the spirit world. And we're running a big conference in June in Lilydale to try to help people do this and see if they have any skills or talents for being physical mediums.
So is this like a workshop that you're talking about?
No, we're doing a conference. It's a 4-day conference. People are going to be busy from morning till night. We're going to have 2 workshops every day, and we're going to have a demonstration in the evening. We're going to do things like spoon bending, table tipping, scrying, automatic drawing, automatic writing, I can't remember all that. Meeting your guides, getting in touch with that, getting in touch with your spiritual energies and auras. And that's what I can think of at the moment.
My understanding is that everybody has this ability, but not everybody can find it or use it, or it hasn't been
Yes.
developed, right?
Well, a large part of it is being able to train your mind to be open to the spiritual energies. And most people have a lot of chatter going on in their head every day. Um, I should have done this, I need to do that, blah, 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 blah. It goes on in their head, and you have to turn all that off. You have to be able to turn all the daily chatter off so that you can clear your mind and be able to receive the messages from the spirit world.
That's kind of the challenge, the exercise, right? Because
Yes.
I've heard that used in reference for meditation. That's sort of the whole point when people do meditation, is just to shut that random chatter voice in your head, to shut it off so that you have no thoughts whatsoever.
Correct. And when you do that, and if you do a meditation practice like that, what usually ends up happening is that the person starts to get some kind of insight, or they'll hear different messages, or just know different messages will come into their mind that are from the spirit world.
Do you have a particular technique for shutting off that inner voice?
Well, what I did, there's a couple of things I do. The first one I did when I first started doing it, I would try to go see how long I could go without having the clutter. So I would say, okay, clear my mind. And then I would wait and see when the clutter came on. And then every time it got a little bit longer and a little bit longer, that I could clear it. And the other thing I do is I listen to music, and then what I say is I kind of ride the music. I let my mind float with the music so that it's not thinking of any kind of daily nonsense.
What kind of music do you use? Like new age type music or
Yeah, New Age. I don't know vocals. No,
no
nothing with a
vocals?
vocal. Something, I mean, YouTube has a ton of channels that have healing and soothing and music to calm you down. So I just go there, go to YouTube, turn on a channel, and there's music plays.
I've
Or I
been
have CDs too.
I know the one you're talking about, and I've been using the one with the rain. I put that
Okay.
on the TV in the bedroom with the rain sound, and I'll tell you, I'm sleeping a lot better now than I did before, when all I would
Yes,
hear would be the air conditioner. Yeah.
exactly what it's about. So, yeah, it's training the mind to do that. I mean, also part of it, I think, is people. It's the people who are busybodies that are always into everybody else's business and wanting to know what everybody else is doing. Their minds are a little more cluttered than people who just kind of are more easygoing.
Well, I think on that, we're going to have to wind this down. We are just quickly running out of time. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Do you have a website that you want to give out?
Yes, my website is Spirit Art Gallery, one word, .net.
Okay. And there is information there about your books. It says
There's about the books, the conferences, everything. Yeah, if
everything
you
is
go to
there.
spiritartgallery.net, you can find all kinds of information about me.
Okay. And your latest book, The Physical Mediumship Unfolded, is out and available now?
It's available on Amazon, yes.
Okay, great.
And it basically tells everybody what physical mediumship is. It's a whole explanation of it with examples and some stories about well-known physical mediums.
Super. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was nice meeting you. Best of luck
Thank
with
you.
your
Nice to
book,
meet you too.
uh,
Thank you.
and good luck with your conference.
Thank you.